Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day?
Hello everyone, my name is Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. You track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is July 23rd, 2025, and I'm both bullish and bearish. For those of you who've been following the channel and the work and the recent analysis, you'll understand exactly what I mean, but I will explain why I'm both bullish and bearish. And no, this doesn't mean I'm hedging or saying it could go up or it could go down. I'm not giving you that. Right or wrong, I'm giving you a conviction play. I'm giving you a read on the market to the best of my ability, with the highest degree of understanding and probability that I see these markets play out. I'm not going to shortchange you and just tell you it could go up or it could go down to protect myself in case I'm wrong. Oh no. In any case, let's get into it. Let's start with Bitcoin on the hourly time frame today, because I feel the need to show you. Actually, let's start with the 4 hourly, and then we're going to zoom into the hourly, because I believe that the hourly time frame is important to look at for the reasons I will be discussing. So 4 hourly time frame, the overall thesis, the overall trading plan is still the same. We are expecting Bitcoin to fall much more than most people expect. Again, my ultimate target for Bitcoin is 58 to 60K. Okay? But it's not going in a straight line. And I think the first stop to that declension to 58 to 60K is 100K. And like I said in the previous episode, there are many reasons why 100K will likely serve as temporary support for Bitcoin. Okay, first and foremost, it's the midline of all of this stuff. Okay, and midlines are just as important in channels as the top or the bottoms of the channel. Okay, so if you look at this 33-day resistance, or sorry, this 33-day consolidation, the midline of that 33 consolidation is 100K. Also, 100K is the top of, well, sorry, it is also the midline of all of this, right? So it's both the midline of this falling wedge, and it's the midline of all of this that we experienced in December of last year into February of this year. So that sequence lasted about 84 days. So you have confluence there. All right, that's one reason. Second reason is, remember, when we were going up, 100K was staunch resistance. So on the way down, it should be relative strong support, at least intermittent support on the way down. Okay, that is a nice round psychological figure. Going above 100K took a lot of doing. On the way up, it's going to react. Price is going to react on 100K on the way down with a high degree of probability. All right, so that's two big reasons why 100K is likely. The third reason isn't as specific, but it's to say this. When we look at the rest of the cryptocurrency market, a lot of altcoins that are currently on support, this goes into why I'm saying I'm bullish and bearish. I'm bearish in the immediate short term. I'm bearish on things like Bitcoin, things like Solana, things like Ethereum that are way off of support. Meaning, I believe that they have much further to go to the downside than most people appreciate. But I'm extremely bullish on assets like Alice that I discussed in the previous video that are so close to support that a small retracement down to the critical level of support will will likely produce a violent reaction to the upside. So I'm bullish on all those assets, all of those altcoins that are so close to support. This retracement, this bearish retracement that we're going to experience in the immediate short term, is only going to have them do their capitulative sort of bounce into supply levels that is likely to manifest, is likely to express itself in the final retracement down before the violent move up. I've said this many times. Any violent move up is usually preceded by an equally violent move down, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the same magnitude, or usually not in the same magnitude. It's usually violent but much smaller. Okay, it's just what we call the capitulative move, the move before the impulse or the initiation of the impulse, right? That's very bullish. So if you're expecting a strong move in a lot of these altcoins, expect that quick, strong retracement into supply levels, supply zones, right? Where, i.e., there's a lot of support and then a quick response to the upside into a bullish trend. That's your formal initiation into a bullish trend, right? So that's why I'm both bullish and bearish. This is the third reason why I think Bitcoin's not gonna go to its target of 58 to 60 in one fell swoop. No, it's going to make a modest retracement of 15-16% into the 100K level. That in turn will enable or encourage altcoins to also put in a modest retracement. But then Bitcoin's reaction into that obviously is going to be a intra-wave correction to the upside. So like it's gonna go down, but also go up, and that move up in Bitcoin is not going to necessarily make a higher high, but a higher low, right? Just like anything that's going in any direction impulsively doesn't go in that straight line. It makes retracements. That retracement is going to be the liquidity upon which altcoins make their initial move into their new bullish trend. And I'm saying altcoins, I'm obviously referring to those altcoins on support. This is why I'm both bullish and bearish. I don't think it's too difficult to understand, or nor do I think it's too subtle. But yeah, that's the best I can explain it, and in the simplest terms. Now let's zoom in. We're going to talk about altcoins a bit more later on, but first, let's finish with Bitcoin. So zooming into the hourly time frame as promised. We've been working on Bitcoin breaking down from this distribution channel for about 10 days, okay? And I've said before, this is likely a distribution channel. It's a channel, we can redraw this. Let's draw it properly. It's a channel that is a consolidation to prepare an impulse to the downside or a retracement to the downside. That's the definition of a distribution channel. These are Wyckoff analysis terms, by the way. And so this is a 10-day process, right? And we know anything that changes directions has to undergo consolidation first, and that consolidation from up to down is called distribution. The consolidation from down to up is called accumulation. This, I believe, is a distribution. And if I had to guess how, let's see, maybe it's something like this. I think it's something like this. Maybe it's something like this, okay? You're dealing with basically all this retracement at the midline and then a fall. But there's nothing bullish about this. Is this a reaccumulation? It doesn't look like it. It looks like a bearish distribution of sorts. And this looks like it's at resistance, okay? And so it's also interesting, and I will note that today is the eve before the official lunar new moon. And I always mention on this channel that full moons are historical, statistical local market bottoms. Conversely, new moons are historical and statistical local market tops. Tomorrow is the official full moon. It is very likely, and the new moon is usually depicted in indicators by a hollow circle. It's very likely that the new moon yield, and I don't necessarily think we have to wait until tomorrow. We may, but you may see that effect play out today already or tonight, where you get that local market top and you start to run impulsively. So basically, the new moon will denote the end of the 10-day distribution channel. So that is my the last point I wanted to make about Bitcoin. It's the eve before the new moon. In and around the new moon, do expect local market tops. It's been about 10 days and it looks super toppy, super bearish, and it looks as if we're about to get our move down to our target that we've identified on this channel quite some time ago. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Now let's talk about altcoins, because really that's the story. And if you follow the channel, if you follow this analysis that has, sometimes takes time to develop, I've been saying that Bitcoin dominance is exactly where we want it. And to anticipate a pullback in altcoins, a pullback in Bitcoin, but that pullback would manifest itself as an increase in Bitcoin dominance to this level specifically. Why? Well, it's all channel trading, right? If you look, Bitcoin dominance has formed a channel. Yeah, like this. And you can see we put it in a channel some time ago. And that channel, as every channel, has a top, a bottom, and a midline. A resistance, a support, and a midline. And in order to break any channel, you have to retest the midline. No channel breaks from the top, nor does any channel break from the bottom. They break from the midline. So this being a distribution channel, right? Bitcoin dominance, remember, is the measure of Bitcoin's dominance vis-a-vis the rest of the cryptocurrency market. If Bitcoin dominance is going down, that means altcoins are moving up relative to Bitcoin and vice versa. If you're waiting or expecting a bullish move in alt season, a bullish cryptocurrency move where altcoins are running, you're expecting Bitcoin dominance to drop, right? And it has been dropping since that top that we identify, the apex of this rising wedge that we've identified on the larger time frame. Now, on the smaller time frames, you can see Bitcoin dominance moving up as we said it would at this base, right? We said it would hit this base, but likely we would experience a retracement, because to break this channel that we've been in, we would likely have to retrace to that midline, and that's exactly what you're seeing right here. So do expect altcoins to continue to retrace up until they reach that midline, and that's again why I'm both bullish and bearish. I'm bearish in the immediate short term because I understand that Bitcoin dominance needs to rise to approximately this level, and that would be bearish for altcoins. But that is a short time frame move. I'm bullish and extremely bullish because I know once we retest that midline, that this is the next big move all the way down to this level right here, which would be or represent the large initial move in alt season, right? Alt season has already started per my assessment, but this is the first sort of this is the first across the board very clear big move in alt season right here after we retest that midline. So that is Bitcoin dominance. And last but not least, you can see the same thing in the total 3, but from another perspective. Let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. And I think it's really nice and clear here. And we've had this again in our charts for some time. We said, having broken this resistance, okay, right here, chopped at it, broken it, you find more resistance up here, right? This is both the resistance of a 500-day channel, and it is the resistance right here of this particular move. You're likely to consolidate and then retrace. And that retracement target is very likely the previous resistance now needing to flip as new support. That's the beginning of the big move in alt season after that retracement takes place. So we have a few indicators, we have a few signposts as to when we should turn super bullish, right? In the immediate short term, we're bearish because we understand that this is the retracement that's likely to happen. Once this retest takes place, all bets are off and it's off to the races. So that's my analysis. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. Consider tipping me by Venmo, Litecoin, Cash App at the pinned comment, and consider my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service, where I go one-on-one with clients at least once a month, and I help you identify assets that are going to run sustainably in this alt season, and I help you identify as well the local levels of support and resistance, where to take profit, where to buy back to maximize your gains in this alt season. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up at the pinned comment below. Take care all, and I'll see you next time.
I vocalize, too deep to localize, even when I'm right on the surface. You act surprised how I work this, but I can't lie. Many a good alibi. I'll catch you later. Visions are vividly enhanced with emphasis and amethyst to develop morale advantages which help us manifest magnanimous. We body vitals like evangelists. So listen when you're dealing with people who be revealing premonitions with precision. At least that's what I'm aiming at for now. I speak the language of the world, meandering throughout the crowd. Used to feel safe to say anything, but now it's a risk. It's hard for me to let go when all I can do is reminisce. Gone like the wind.